Also, we were kind of just going through Tom's political history, like voting for the first time in 2016. Hype for Trump, the decline, like realizing Trump's not going to actually do all the things that he said he's going to do. 2020
Yeah.
loses. You have 4 years of Biden and COVID, and then winning in 2024 again. So you're kind of back on the hype train, but it doesn't. It's like the sequel. It's never as good as the original. But yeah, what
Mhm.
was uh, what was your experience through that time, Vintage?
It's for like COVID.
Yes, 2016 to 2024.
So I mean, I was in the army for pretty much. So from I was in the army from 2012 to 2021. Um, During COVID, I was trapped in Guantanamo Bay, um, and that was its own retard thing. So like, it was supposed to be 9 months. I remember when articles started coming out, and all of the NCOs were kind of looking at each other. We're all like, uh-oh, because we were towards the end of our time there. I'm 31 for the chat that's asking. I know I look like I'm not 31 to some
Well,
people, but I am.
I'm just turning 30, so you're good.
Yeah. So, no, that was hell because it extended. So first of all, there was no risk of COVID hitting that island. Number one. Number two, I don't know how much of this I could talk about really, but it turned our like 9 month stint into like 15 months. So like divorces started happening, fucking people's lives started getting ruined. Like it was not good even for people who weren't in this, like, because when we came back, it was alien, dude. People were wearing like the big white suits, like cleaning down the plane when we finally got back in. They put us in a fucking FEMA camp in the middle of the desert for 2 weeks in New Mexico.
Damn.
And I'm talking like Constantine Wire are like, we were MPs, but there was like MPs with guns. Like if you leave, like
Yeah, you are the prisoner. How does that feel? You
So,
come
yeah,
back
no,
from
straight up,
Guantanamo, and then you are the prisoner.
I mean, we were essentially prisoners there though, because the army and its infinitely wise decision making process, despite there being no cases of anything there, obviously, they had us in they put fucking Constantine wire around our living area, our hooches, so we couldn't go outside so we went from prison camp to prison camp basically, but we went from working in one to being in one to going back straight to one before we went home. And that was like its own weird thing adjusting, because people had already gone through their own kind of adjustment to COVID. Like you couldn't really do anything. All the bars I would go to were like outdoor. Like
I remember
traditionally, like country bars where everyone dances inside were like out in the parking lot. It was weird, dude. And then, yeah, it just kind of got worse from there. Just everything.
Yeah, dude, I can't even imagine, bro. That sounds like so insane.
I mean,
And
it is what it is, man. Like there's other people who had it worse too. There was guys trapped in Syria,
Oh yeah,
like combat deployments, and you're just like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
dude.
Like,
Imagine being on a combat deployment, being asked to wear an N95 mask all day for
Oh
no
god.
reason whatsoever.
On the
yeah,
desert, dude.
no, I've heard
Well,
stories that
my brother was in Poland for 9 months, and COVID kicked off in the time that he was on the workup to go out there. So I believe it was he had to do a 2 week quarantine in the U.S., fly to Poland, do a 2 week quarantine in Poland, and then the same to return, because you had to do double quarantine in both countries. So it was like 2 months of your life were just sitting in a camp somewhere or in a hotel somewhere and not able to talk or go anywhere or do anything, basically.
That's crazy. What is around that time? When a lot of that stuff was happening, I was like online a lot because obviously you can't go out and do much. And I was in this one Discord group, and I was friends with like a lot of guys from Australia. And dude, people in Australia, they got fucked, bro. There's that one city that was like locked down for like almost 2 years, and I knew a guy who lived in that city, and there was so much fucked up shit happening to him. His like wife had he was older. He was like I think almost in his 40s. His wife had cancer, and she was getting treatment outside of Australia, and she was dying. And he was trying to go see her because it's his wife. She's about to die, and they straight up told him, "It's like, nah, you can't leave." And he was just stuck in his house, just couldn't, like, I had way more freedom than him. He couldn't even leave, and he was just stuck there, just can't do anything.
Well, I remember kind of a similar thing to that was nursing homes and things like that, where people were locked away from their family, from their friends, from their relatives. People
Mm.
couldn't come visit them, fear of, giving them the coof, right? So a lot of old people in these homes, which was already a tragic situation to begin with, they just died empty and alone for fear of living, I guess. So the alternative of just giving up and dying was better for them. I mean, my son, Bruce, who's 5 years old now, was born, and there was a time where they weren't going to allow me into the hospital to be with them. And like, I was like, this isn't going to fly. Right. And then
Yeah.
it ended up like my wife had to have a C-section. So it was this whole like nightmarish process of being able to be with them during the birth. It's just retarded stuff like that. But I mean, all of that kind of plays into what we're seeing now when people complain about Trump being a fascist or some sort of evil totalitarian dictator, and you're like, one side actually like did all of these things, and so I have no sympathy for you whatsoever for mild enforcement of the law.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And if you try talking to people who are like on that side of the aisle about this stuff, they'll act like it was no big deal or that it wasn't really that long, or it's like, oh, well, it was for the betterment of society. It's for because we're trying to keep everyone safe, or it's whatever bullshit they try to like gaslight you with. It's like, no, dude, you guys literally created more problems than we would have had if we were just smart about this. And whether they did it on purpose or not, I mean, I think it's a little mix of that and then just the people in charge were just idiots.
Well, they
Um,
created the problem that they feared, right? I mean, the
mm,
whole thing. And the other thing too with that is like the laziness of people on both sides of the aisle in calling everything fascistic. Just it's one of those things that irks the fuck out of me. Like I just nobody knows what anything means, and I don't mean like the normally like, oh no, that's not true. Antifa's the real fascist. I'm talking like nobody knows the definitions of fucking anything. I get so I've said this before. I
Well,
just fucking hate it.
it's like 2016 Republican coded where it's both sides just saying, no, you're the real racist. No, you're the real racist. No, you're the real racist. And I'm
It's
just in the
like
corner
boomer
saying,
tier
no,
gotcha
I'm the
shit.
racist. Yeah, exactly.
mm.
It's trying to use words to put somebody in a box or like, see, they're the bad guy. They have bad guy written on their name tag.
Yeah, that's all any of these labels are like honestly for. Like it's just to either shut somebody up or discredit them. It's not they don't like have any meaning. And people have like told me on my channel it's like, "Hey, like what does being a conservative or a liberal even mean? Like what's Republican or Democrat? Like it's all useless." And it's the same thing with like anti-Semitic, racist, Nazi, fascist. Like it's just all bullshit and it's like the definitions mean nothing anymore to any people, like anyone.